Hey everyone, it's a pretty snowy day here in Vancouver. I feel like it's been a while since I've done anything like video related, but I kind of wanted to check in because, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I think in the past summer and fall, like looking back at some of my kind of most enjoyable experiences was pretty much like, yeah, just going on those kind of small and big adventures and making those videos and kind of connecting with all of you. It's like really a highlight for sure. So I kind of a bit bummed that I kind of fell into a big slump. It's honestly a World of Warcraft slump, which is like the worst slump to fall into. Yeah, so basically in the past few weeks I was able to take a bit of a break. I spent the holidays in Whistler with my family, which is really pretty nice. And I did like a 1-week personal development retreat, which was really cool. It was actually at the same place that I did that video where I went biked to Gabriel Island. It was that kind of non-profit, kind of like personal development, group therapy type thing. It was pretty cool. Kind of like basically just getting in touch, kind of grounding myself and remembering to breathe. Although I'm out of breath right now, it's partially snowy, it's a bit cold, although really not that bad. I'm kind of just walking along downtown here, seeing the snowy vibes. Yeah, part of that personal development retreat was basically to kind of readjust some priorities to figure out, I don't know, more what I want to do in life. Those big questions of, you know, is staying home playing video games a waste of time? Probably the answer is yes. And if not, is there a way to do it in a kind of sustainable way? Maybe, depending on who you are. Another thing I wanted to prioritize was basically the idea of communication and relationships, because that's kind of pretty much the most important thing, I think, in terms of our individual well-being, is having good relationships and having good communication, because, well, relationships are often pretty much communication. You know, there's physical sometimes, but yeah, if the communication isn't there, then the relationship might not be there either. And that's something that I've been trying to work on more, just how I relate with others, how I speak to others, how I let my intentions be known, and kind of being vulnerable with my feelings. So yeah, basically having the goal of communicating well and better, it's something I really need to work on. It's something I've been trying to work on basically for my whole life. Just, you know, communication, how I feel, stuff like that, which is, I don't think comes easy to many people. I think maybe men especially more, but just in general, I don't think people are really good about having kind of pretty honest, authentic communication, because it's difficult. It can be really hard. It can be really, you're exposing yourself. You really have to open yourself up to others, which is, yeah, again, it can be pretty difficult. Yeah, so in terms of another priority, that's not like a soft skill, it's kind of just more of a life thing, is basically trying to figure out if and when I can move out of my family's home, because it's probably been too long. It's been too long. I think my mother's let me know that, which, you know, understandable for sure. And that kind of gets back to the communication, because the reason it has been able to work so well is because I have, you know, a fairly good relationship with her. We can communicate about issues. We can talk about what's going on our minds and stuff like that. But, you know, at a certain point, it kind of becomes too much, and you kind of got to change things up a little bit more. Yeah, so I'm walking downtown right now, actually, because I just love cities. I love kind of a vibrant city. I love having a bit of that urban energy kind of all around me. I think part of that is growing up in New York, kind of surrounded by that big city all the time. And I really don't mind it. I think it's actually really invigorating. I really love the feeling of being able to kind of step outside and, yeah, no one really knows who you are. No one really cares about who you are or what you're doing. Like right now, I'm like walking around in the snow and I'm like having my camera out. It's kind of a bit, I don't do this very often. It can feel a bit awkward, but when you're in a big city and everyone's kind of doing their own thing, you know, no one really cares. Part of moving out is to have a home, because home is important. And, you know, for most of your life, home is your family's home. It's where you grew up. But I think at a certain point that needs to change. But at the same time, a home isn't just like a physical place. I mean, it's, you know, I love having walkable neighborhoods, being able to have a good bike infrastructure, bike lanes, really good transit. All this stuff is awesome, but, you know, a home is also the connections and relationships you have that are associated with that place. And if you don't have those, then home is just, I don't know, it's just an apartment. Like, you really need more than that. So it kind of is all tied together. You can't just have your home, you can't just have your relationships. Kind of bundling that all together in a really good way, because I don't know, you want somewhere you can come back to, but you want people you can come back to as well. You want people you can talk to, people you can feel close with, people that create a sense of community. I think that's what a lot of us are often looking for. And again, that's pretty hard to get. Part of it is, the communications, the relationships. But part of that is, having a sense of physical environment that, helps you feel better, helps you feel more yourself, feel like you're more capable, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so again, kind of thinking back the past year and some mistakes I've made, but also some of my highlights. It was making these videos, which I found super awesome. Like, really enjoy doing that type of stuff. And being able to connect with you all, being able to take you on my little or big adventures. Either if it's going to a different island I've never been to before, or if it's even just going to the dollar store to look for the vegan eats. All that stuff I really enjoyed. And I think more importantly, having a routine, a rhythm, and kind of being creative on a consistent basis was, just super, I don't know, I appreciate everything about it. I appreciate you all for hanging in on the adventures. And it's just been good just to kind of get this out there and talk about what I've been up to and what I've been trying to do going forward. Although my hand is getting a bit tired from holding this camera up. But it's super nice. It's got snowy trees here. I kind of just walked randomly until I ended up somewhere. Although this is not really where I want to end up. I actually turned around. All right, everyone. I'll see you all later. I don't have any guarantees of videos for like a regular basis, but again, just wanted to touch in with you all. Let me check in with you all, see how you all are doing and what are you up to. What are your ideas of a home? What makes it physically a home, like in terms of the environment, but also what makes it a home in terms of the friendships and relationships you have. You can let me know in the comments if you want. Otherwise, I'm gonna get my hands a bit warmed up, and I'll see you all around. Thanks again. Bye. So this is the weirdest area, it's like this little walkway here. But please tell me, like, why are these always here? Like, what? I think this is a tripping hazard.